Next stop on the teams to beat, the reason that we didn't win the group in the 2018 World Cup qualifying. What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Vince from VRFootball. Today we're going to look at Italy's semi-final matchup against Spain. Now if you haven't already done so, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We are looking for 50 subscribers by the end of Euro. We're looking for 12 more of you to subscribe to the channel. It means a whole lot, especially supporting what we do here at VRFootball. So without further ado, let's take a look at Italy's matchup against Spain. Now this is a super fitting matchup. This is one team that is the main reason that Italy did not qualify for the 2018 World Cup, and that's because Spain topped Italy's qualifying group, which forced Italy to go play a playoff against Sweden, which they were unable to do and to qualify for that World Cup. Now, the Spain of 3 years ago is very different, very much different than the Spain that's playing right now. We are seeing a lot of that golden generation of Spain move on, retire. They're getting older. There's very few that are left in that Spain squad. This is a very young Spain squad with some experience. I know they struggled a little bit with Switzerland. They had to go to PKs to make it to the next round. So maybe that bodes well for Italy, a team coming off beating the #1 ranked country in Belgium in the quarterfinals. A lot of pundits, a lot of people saying that Italy hasn't faced anyone important, anyone big. Well, look, they just beat Belgium, okay? You're trying to tell me that Italy is not a good soccer nation. They are absolutely killing it on the field. They looked calm, they looked composed, they dominate, they dominate possession. Their passes are on point. I know they only beat Belgium 2-1, but I mean, they dominated that game, okay? There were some tense moments, and I know that this win came at the expense of Leonardo Spinazzola, but you gotta admit, Italy has looked really good throughout this tournament, and you could probably say that they are probably the favorites to win this. So let's take a look at who might be in the starting 11 contention for Spain. The winner of this match will play the winner of England-Denmark. It's looking like England is going to pull through. Time of recording, they're winning 3-0 against the Ukraine, and it looks like England will likely beat Denmark. Although Denmark's what a wonderful story right now going on with Denmark. But maybe it's looking like an Italy-England final, okay, which is kind of like a dream final for me. We got a great Italian team versus this really hyped up English team, and all power to them if they make it to the finals. It's taking place in England. Would be a great matchup to watch. Okay, so let's take a look at Italy's starting 11. Unfortunately, the Belgium win came at the expense of a Leonardo Spinazzola torn Achilles injury, which will rule him out for the rest of the tournament. And his season at Roma is likely going to be a short one. If he does come back, it'll probably be in the second half of the season or towards the end of the season. He was having such a great tournament. You could probably argue he's probably one of the best players at the Euros right now. Super unfortunate to see. So starting on the left-hand side, the only option we got left is Emerson. Chiellini and Bonucci at center back looked like absolute beasts against Lukaku in that Belgium game. Okay, it's hard to believe Chiellini's almost 37 years old, still kicking it, still grinding it out, looking like he's 23, and just got that absolute strength and experience. Bonucci looked good as well. On the right hand side, I know he gave up a penalty, questionable penalty, but Di Lorenzo, you have to keep going with Di Lorenzo. I know he's filling in for Florenzi, and there might be some doubts whether because he gave up that penalty, if we should start Alessandro Florenzi, but let the kid keep going. I know he's 27 years old. He's played well. He hasn't really kind of put a wrong foot forward. He's been pretty good at right back. So I think that's your back line. Again, Donnarumma in net. That's expected. I always forget to mention that. In the midfield, I don't think much changes from what we saw. Verratti, Jorginho, 99% passing completions. in that game against Belgium. And Nicolo Barella, again, one of the best midfielders in Serie A, if not the best midfielder in Serie A, and one of the better, if not the best midfielder in this tournament. Would be nice to see him make the team of the tournament alongside Jorginho. As for the top, my really only question mark is Ciro Immobile. He was kind of caught flopping around. He hasn't really done much since he scored the 2 goals, and I keep saying this. I think it might be a chance to give Andrea Belotti a chance to start. He's such a hard worker. He's a very different player than Immobile. He tracks back. He's just a hard worker overall, and it is nice to have Andrea Belotti come off the bench. Hopefully maybe Mancini does it a little bit sooner if Immobile does start. But for me, I think it's time to give Andrea Belotti a chance. I think it's time to give him the chance to start ahead of Ciro Immobile. We're starting to see, classic Ciro with the national team, in this tournament, scored a couple goals early and now hasn't really done much since. On the left-hand side, we got to go with Lorenzo Insigne. What a wonder goal against Belgium. Absolutely amazing strike from Insigne. And then on the right-hand side, again, I know I have been a Domenico Berardi truther for this entire tournament, but you have to go with Federico Chiesa. He's just the hot hand right now, and it makes sense to have him on there. So that's my starting 11. If we're going with a score prediction, I think it's going to be 3-1 for Italy, advancing to the finals. Goals coming from Andrea Belotti, Insigne, and another goal from the midfield. I think this time it's going to be Marco Verratti who scores. So those are my 3 goals. As for Spain, I don't know, maybe Morata puts one in. He is familiar with his Juve counterparts, but for me, I think it's a 3-1 win with Italy progressing to the finals. As for substitutions, I think it's going to be my man Brian Cristante coming off the bench. He's come off the bench in almost, I think, every single game. He comes out and closes that game out. What a wonderful action there when Spinazzola went down. He was there comforting him. Roma teammates and those of you who watch the channel know that I'm a Roma fan, so it's nice to see Brian Cristante get a little bit of love. He's been an absolute beast for Roma this year, and it's nice to see that his actions aren't going unnoticed, and he is taking a role in the Italian national team. We didn't see Locatelli, we didn't see Pessina last game. Depending on the strategy, if you're up and you need to protect the lead, you might not see a guy like Pessina or Locatelli, whereas if you need goals, you might see those two come on, depending on when those goals are scored. We also saw Rafael Toloi come on last game as well, again to close out that lead to make sure that Italy progresses. As always, I hope you liked the video. That was my score predictions, starting 11, substitutions for the Italy-Spain game. And I hope we can do this again. This has been so fun, just giving you my opinion on what I think is going to happen in the Euros. Every time I come up with a video, I hope that I can do another one, and I hope you like the Azzurri content. I'm hoping to keep it going past Euro. I feel like there's not a whole lot of Azzurri content out there for the fans, but it would be nice to kind of take a look at their U21s as well, and I hope in the future to do like a 22 World Cup early roster selection, and there'll be some surprising names, and hopefully some of these young kids that can come up can replace some of those older experienced players that are kind of on their way out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, remember, Forza Azzurri.